a traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Oh man, let me know when we're ready. And
we're rolling, buddy.
Oh, we've been rolling.
Here, and that'll be your start, and then I'll come to the wide whenever.
We're leaving this stuff in. I'm just cleaning my lenses because I'm wearing glasses on this episode. And there they are. Oh, no, I smeared them. Do you people have glasses? And then you're like, you get your face grease on the lens, and then you're like, oh, let me wipe them down with a T-shirt. And then it just looks like a car windshield with bad wipers, where it just smears the grime. You're like, that's better. That's how it should be. You guys are going to find out that I didn't opt for the anti-glare. You know all those upsells they do with glasses? Do you want UV protection, anti-glare? And I'm like, no, we don't need that. I'll just wear these right before I go to bed. And there, just reflecting. Oh, that reflecting gunk. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to This Week in Zoltan. This is episode 376. We're coming at you from our beautiful studio space in the Big Apple, New York City, New York. They say it was so good, they say it twice, I hear. Before we get cooking, should we even do the plug for your journal?
We don't have to. Because
you're selling so many, we're overwhelmed.
Yes.
We have 40 orders that we have to pack and lug down the street, and they're coming in it's a windfall. Yeah. It's a windfall of orders. You have exploded on the social medias.
I have. Yes.
And all because of your hard work, dedication, persistence. What are some other good words? Know-how. Relentlessness. You've been relentless.
I have.
Yeah. But if people do want to buy a safe journal, you can go to safejournal.co and put in, do they still get the discount, or because you're cooking with grease, we're cutting the discount?
No, it's still there.
It's still there. Yeah. Everything's the same. I talked to the boss. 25% off discount code Zoltan at checkout. You get a handwritten note this way. Those other suckers and rubes, they're not getting a handwritten note from yours truly where I talk about my day or talk about my eye infection. They don't get that kind of stuff, but you do, along with 25% off. Now, I put the cart in front of the horse. What is a safe journal? It's a journal. Have you heard of it? It's where you put your thoughts and feelings on paper, but it's so much more. There's so many tools in here that most journals don't have. So many ways to organize your thoughts and feelings so you can come back and figure out why you felt like a monster on every other Tuesday since the winter solstice. These are important things you need to know, and you can know these things about yourself with the Safe Journal. Safejournal.co, Zoltan at checkout, 25% off. And a handwritten note, and I'm going to stop pointing now. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then also, my manager, Mark, said, you should probably plug your shows so we can sell more tickets.
Stop plugging the journal.
No, plug the journal, but then also let's plug the shows. I go to zoltancomedy.com for my tour dates. I was supposed to remember them or write them down. I didn't. But they're all on my website. Come see me live. Help me pay my rent. And how is everybody? You doing good?
Pretty okay, yeah.
Pretty okay?
Not gonna lie.
That's a hot start. Pretty okay. I know you have something in the chamber from Small Business Woes that we'll get to, definitely. Yeah. And Mike has a healed foot.
Healed up. I'm happy. I'm excited to catch you in Rutherford, New Jersey, May 3rd through 4th. Los Angeles, California, May 10th. Boston, Massachusetts, June 8th. June 14th through 16th, Panama City at Beaches Comedy Club. That's going to be a solid one. Then you got Greensboro, North Carolina, Greenville, and other things at ZoltanComedy.com. I'm doing good.
That was great. That sounded like the warnings and discretions off of like pills. like come get Zoloft. You may kill your mother. Like slowly coming down.
I just did an audition for some company, some like blood pressure medication. So I have that like. Do it with Jardiance. I still have that like did you know that if you take Jardiance twice a day? I have that.
Wow.
I'm in that mode right now. So
were you? Was it just voiceover or was it also face?
No, it was face. I had to dance.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was today?
It was yesterday.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. You went on an audition, did a jingle and a dance for blood pressure medication.
Yeah, I think it was blood pressure.
Wow.
I should know. I'm on 2 of them. It's fun.
I might have high blood pressure. Can you have a low resting heart rate and high blood pressure? Because that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
If you're
for your doctor, not for a podcast
Zoltan
producer.
won't go to the doctor.
I don't want to. Well, let's start there then. The reason I'm wearing glasses is because I got a stye in my eye. I don't know if you know what a stye is, but it's like a high-end form of pink eye. So pink eye, that's for bottom dwellers and ditch diggers. They're getting poop in their eye because they're pooping everywhere, and the poop's getting in their eye, and they're getting the pink eye, and they're giving it to other people. Stye, that's highfalutin pink eye, where I guess a duct in your eyelash thing gets clogged with turds or whatever, and then your eyes, it can get infected. Mine definitely did. But yeah, I woke up Saturday morning 2 Saturdays ago. It felt like someone punched me in the eye.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that's weird. And then I got home and my eye still hurt, but then it started to swell. And because I don't have health insurance, a CVS pharmacy does a telehealth thing where for $100 you get to like FaceTime a cashier or
Minute
something.
Clinic, yeah.
Yeah, Minute Clinic. Yeah, you get to. I think you FaceTime a cashier on a lunch break who's seen. She's seen a lot of people.
Not even on lunch break. They're just in the middle of bringing people up. Those people are overworked.
Yeah.
My buddy's a pharmacist, and he says, I went to 6 years of pharmacy school, medical school, and I'm a cashier at CVS. I'm ringing up pills and Cheetos. It's like, I went to school for this? So funny.
He's trying to work his way into the pharmacy department.
Yeah. No, he is a pharmacist.
Oh, but people bring Cheetos up to his counter.
You can check out there as well.
That's so
He's
good.
doing both.
I want to do that. I want to ask one question, like one pharmacist question, and then go, "Hey, while I'm here, Hot Pockets, can you ring these?"
Oh, what's that? What do you got there? You got Fritos and acne medication. Maybe we could talk about this combo. See if perhaps there is one is not needed for the. You know what I mean?
That's great.
So stupid.
Yeah, so I did the telehealth thing with CVS, and it was a guy that looked like he didn't know that much because it was after hours. So I got their like late night manager, you know, the one that's not expecting any telehealth customers. And then here I come, swollen eye and all, and I'm just holding my phone to my eye. And he's asking me all these questions, but after every question, he's like, let me check my reference. And he turns and he's like going on a laptop. And then after like the third time he did that, I looked over at you and I'm like, I think this guy's Googling.
He was.
I think he was doing what we were doing 30 minutes before we got on this telehealth call. And he's just Googling the same thing. He's like, I think you got a stye. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what we were narrowing it down to.
That's where you think or you know.
And I was looking to get pills or eye drops and something, steroids, whatever it takes to fix it. And he's like, no, it doesn't look infected because it wasn't that swollen yet. It was just a little swollen. And he's like, just put a heat compress on it. So I did that for a day or two. And then 2 days later, it was like blown up and way worse. And then so I called telehealth again. It was almost like when you don't have health insurance and you do telehealth through CVS, it's kind of like trying to win money at the slots. Like you throw in $100 and you keep cranking it, and then eventually you run out and you're like, well, we got to win that 100 back and double it. So you put another 100 in, but this time this lady, as soon as I answered, she was like, you need antibiotics. Like she saw my eye for a second.
The last guy said a wet rag. Pretty sure he was wrong.
He didn't even say a clean wet rag. He's like, just do you have like old musty underwear around? Why don't you strap that to your fat head and see if the swelling doesn't go down? But then I finally got eye drops, and I got to experience being having a fat eye for a couple days. Mm-hmm. And you said I looked like Quasimodo.
You did.
From The Hunchback. And I did. I had one eye, and I already naturally slouch, and so I got one eye. And but now we'd go out in public, and I'm embarrassed to look at
Spitting
people.
image.
Yeah, I was embarrassed to look at people.
Started wearing your backpack under your shirt. Telling everyone, looking at her, being like, "No, I fell."
We went to get coffee when we go to our variety coffee shop, the one we like. Yeah. I'm like, you order, and I would just stand there looking down, and then I'd look up and I'd be like, one cold brew, please, and then I'd throw on a cloak and run up a stairwell, just like the Hunchback. Mm-hmm. Which at least I got a joke out of it, which was good. That's good. I haven't been able to wear my contact lenses, so I've been wearing my frames, and I've never felt more vulnerable Like I went to Chicago this weekend, and I'm like, man, I got to wear my glasses in Chicago. And she's like, what's wrong with that? You look good in your glasses. And I'm like, well, what if I get in a fight? And she's like, is that your legitimate fear? And I'm
What if
like,
someone asks me a question because they think I'm smart? I don't know. What do I do?
you know what the good? I do like gags with glasses.
Oh,
So
yeah,
last night I was at an audition for the New York Comedy Club, and it was a rough night, horrible crowd. God bless me and all the comics that had to go up there and suffer.
bless me first.
Yeah, me first. I think that's how you do the prayers.
you're right, yeah.
Usually you pray for yourself, and then it's like,
And then the poor kids.
yeah, it's kind of like putting the oxygen mask on a plane. You do
Before,
yourself
yeah.
first, and then you do the kid. I think that's how Jesus works. But anyway, there was a really bad set going on, and this crowd work thing that ended up being a disaster. And Steven was sitting next to me, and he's like, God, and you could feel the pain. And then I just did this, and I'm like, that's better. I got a good, I was like, I like gags with glasses.
I like gags without glasses. I love doing this. Like when someone says something crazy, I'm like, excuse me? Because it's just so dumb. It's perfect.
Did you get that on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Excuse me. My favorite is Chris Farley.
Oh, no, here we go.
I thought I was going to be in a bad mood for this. So much for that. Yeah, Chris Farley, he had his the motivational speaker, and he wore these big frame glasses, and he's doing this intervention with his family, and David Spade's character, he's like, I want to be a writer. And Chris Farley goes, well, la-dee-da. And he elbows the dad. He goes, hey, Dad, help me out. My eyesight ain't too good. Is that Bill Shakespeare I'm looking at over there? And I love this move. My eyesight ain't too good.
Because it's not. The funniest part is that it's not. It's too fast.
Yeah.
It's too much of this. Hey, let me ask you that there. Is that Billy Shakespeare? It's perfect. It's the perfect joke.
I also love that he called him Bill, not William Shakespeare. Oh, Bill Shakespeare.
Oh, Bill Shakespeare.
We've already lost Emma's attention.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I would not listen to this podcast.
She tells me that after every episode. She's like, it's a lot of you guys yammering, and I would not listen to this podcast. But to be fair,
I laugh a lot, but I wouldn't listen to it.
I appreciate that.
That sounds like a pretty good
I'm just trying to be
review.
nice.
That sounds like a 5-star review.
I laugh a lot, but I wouldn't listen to
It's
this.
hilarious. Wouldn't touch it, though. Was that your first time at telehealth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Have you done it telehealth before, Emma?
I did a couple times. Yeah.
Nothing crazy?
What was it for?
What'd you have it for?
Well, I mean, like, I wasn't asking for your diagnosis.
I remember what it was.
Did something crazy happen?
I just had a UTI, so
Wow.
I just needed antibiotics. It worked out.
You're just taking your camera all the way down. You're like, is this how we do it?
That's what, while I was doing the telehealth, I was so glad my eye was the issue. Otherwise, I would just be like, I'd have to get my ring light out and like, like a fan.
I had it over the
over.
pandemic with my knee, and I had to like bring I had to like pull my laptop down. I was like, this is the weirdest OnlyFans I've ever done. And when I came back, the guy goes, I don't know, man, you want some muscle relaxers? I was just like, that's not, you don't ask me that. Yes, but don't ask me that.
Yes, but also now can I have your professional opinion?
Yeah, really.
But I do love that you would say that you wouldn't listen to this podcast because my answer to you saying that is you don't like any podcast.
Do I not? Yeah.
Every
maybe I
time
do.
we try a podcast, 30 seconds in, minute in, she's like, nah, I'm not into this. It's too much yammering. And I'm like, that's every podcast. It's all talking. I think
Yeah.
you might want to listen to music.
Maybe.
I think that's more your vibe.
Maybe.
I think that's what it is.
I'll send you a list of podcasts that are worse. Does that help?
Maybe.
That'd be great. This is how we're going to promote the podcast. I'm going to send links to worse podcasts.
Podcasts that we think we're better than. How did the moth get in here? Well, they're talking about stuff that I don't get.
Oh, Do you like The Moth?
No, that's the only smart podcast I could think of.
Yeah.
It's funny, I actually like that one.
There you go.
It's a good one.
I didn't know they had a podcast though. We've been to the show.
Yeah, we went to the show and
it's a
at the
podcast.
Bell House. No, I'm sure it's a podcast
Yeah.
too. They also release books of short stories.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a podcast.
Yeah, we used to, during the pandemic, we got into the books and we would take turns reading aloud because the world was ending and we were slowly losing our minds. And so,
that.
we took turns reading stories from The Moth.
I wish that's what we did. I just set up a karaoke in our house and just singing.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't care.
We talked about this last time, how much you like karaoke.
I enjoy a good screaming.
Karaoke and nachos. That's your
Karaoke
thing.
and nachos.
Yeah.
We're going to pop punk cover band tonight at Bar 9 in
Oh.
Hell's Kitchen. It's like $10 and it's like all the hits from pop punk bands.
Oh, like Offspring and...
Yeah, all of them.
I've
Some
been-
41, all that.
That's my favorite jam.
Yeah.
You
guys
should
wanna
go to
come?
that.
I got extra tickets.
$10.
Wait, it's karaoke?
No, it's just you just go and listen to it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's other people singing it.
But they got nachos. That's the main thing about it. I was looking at the menu. They got wings and nachos. I'm like, well, these are all the things I like.
Mike's gonna be there listening to these bands, drilling nachos, going, man, if they'd only let me sing, this night would be perfect.
Just a mouthful of.
That's perfect. Oh, damn, that's fun. We might have to go do that. I might pop the contact lenses in for that. See if we can't figure that out. But yeah, the eye's better, and it was worth it. It was worth it. We the weekend before, I was in Kansas City, and shows were great. And then the last show, Brian Regan was in town, and Steven Rogers, my buddy, opens for him.
Yeah.
And so, that guy likes to hang out at comedy clubs.
Oh, I saw he posted that he was there. I didn't realize that was your weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their show was at like whatever. When their show was done, they came down to the club and
When their
watched.
football stadium and cleared out.
Yeah.
Whatever time that ended, he helicoptered over.
That's pretty much what it was. But they came in. I was so nervous because I was like, they're coming to the show and they're coming to the late show. And I just had a good early show. So I'm like, there's no way this one's going to be good. It ended up being fine. But first 5 minutes, I was like stammering over my words because I was just like, and they hadn't shown up yet, thank God. And then 5 minutes in, I remember hearing Steven Rogers' laugh, and I'm like, they're here. And then the rest of the set went well, but boy, was I in my head.
Sure.
Comedy legend comes out to watch you do a late show, and you're like, oh no, I wonder if he sees his influence on me. Oh, I wonder what he'd think of this joke. He probably thought that was dumb.
I wonder if he remembers that he told this joke 20 years ago that I have 100% lifted and changed nothing. That's what I would do. I'm up here in the sky puffs. It's not a good enough version of clouds, Mike. He's gonna know it's his.
I loved it. But no, he was incredible. He was so kind afterwards. It was so weird to talk to a guy who I watched growing up, still am a huge fan of, and going, oh, great work, like just saying like nice set, and like he really enjoyed the hour and all that stuff. And then we drank tequila all night.
That's amazing.
That guy showed up like Ric Flair with like blonde hair, and he's just buying shots for the entire bar.
That's amazing.
It was so fun. And
I
we're
love
just
seeing somebody with money and fame and
yes.
success just give it away. Seriously. Like in a good way. Like
In a good way.
I did a weekend with TJ Miller years ago, and the first night out, he was like, we went to this like really nice sushi place, and he leaned into me and he goes, hey, I'm paying for everything. Don't even attempt to take your credit card out. If you do, it'll make me mad. Everything's on me. Order whatever you want. I was like, okay. And it was the greatest. I was like, let's spend that Transformers money, dog.
Let's spend that Transformers money.
He made a video. Did you see the video Brian Regan made? He was signing up for the open mic at the Kansas City Improv or whatever the club was.
That was the night he was hanging out with us.
So funny.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does that.
And he'll do the open mic.
Yes.
Wow.
So he didn't do it that night because the open mic wasn't happening that night. But Steven Rogers told the story that the first time he went on the road with him, because he opens for him regularly, but the first time he was like, hey, why don't you look up like a comedy club we can go hang out at? And they were in Wilmington, wherever Dead Crow is.
Oh yeah, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, and Steven's like, well, there's a club, but there's not a show tonight. It's an open mic. And he's like, let's go to that. And then they show up. He's like, let's sign up for the mic. And then so Brian Regan went after doing a theater show. Chicago. He takes his tour bus to a comedy club, signs up for an open mic.
Bumps everybody. No.
He did 4 hours. No.
Smoked cigarettes the whole time.
Yes.
Told everyone why they should be a Muslim. Yeah, it was a good time. Very good time.
Are you talking about Dave
Chappelle.
Chappelle?
No, I was talking about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
You mispronounced his last name for some reason.
But yeah, he went over there, did the open mic. Steven had to follow him.
So funny.
Doing the open mic. And so I don't know, that's where he likes to hang out, is comedy clubs.
It's
and
amazing.
it was just such a great, it was worth, I'm not saying I got the Stye from him. It was because I woke up that morning with my eye already hurting. So I got it from the night before.
Could have been from all the tequila and how far your head was up his ass. Kidding. We're having a fun time.
I did say I love the way your brain works about 58 times.
And he just went, okay.
No, I had so many, when you meet somebody and you have so many questions, but then the conversation's so loose, you're like, man, I'd really be shoehorning in this question. Of like, hey, you know that This Is Not Happening set where you got booed out of a hockey arena? Man, that's my fave. Like,
Speaking of Chris Farley sketches. Yeah. Remember the time you
remember that? Yes.
were my hero? That was pretty cool.
Did you ever see those sketches? They had a sketch on Saturday Night Live called The Chris Farley Show, where he was just himself, but he's like a horrible interviewer. And he would just go, one time he interviewed Paul McCartney, and he's like, hey, remember that time that the news came out and it said you had died? And Paul McCartney's like, yeah. He's like, that was a hoax, right? It's so silly.
Remember when you were with the Beatles?
Remember when you...
What was that like?
Yeah, I remember when you were with the Beatles. That was one of the questions. Remember when you were with the Beatles?
Remember that lyric, the love you make is equal to the love you take? Did you mean that?
Did you mean that? We got to make... I already force you to watch so many things you don't want to watch.
You do, yeah.
It's so much. But it's because I have... If you think about it, it's a way of me sharing my love.
It is.
'Cause
That's
I'm
why
sure-
I watch.
Yeah.
I do not enjoy it.
You do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you enjoy it, and sometimes you go, that's white people humor.
Yes.
And then you really lay it down. But
I do.
yeah. But I want to... I've been... you got an email yesterday running this small business here, Safe Journal. SafeJournal.co, 25% off. Zoltan checkout, handwritten note by me. But you got...
It was slick.
That was
Didn't even notice it.
didn't even notice. That's called subliminal advertising. That's what that
I
is.
think it's just bliminal.
Subliminal, yeah. We missed
The opposite of that, but that's bliminal as hell.
offensive advertising.
Didn't even see the stitches.
You didn't see the stitch. That's right. That was a compliment that I got. You couldn't see the stitches, which is also a great compliment if you've had a lot of plastic surgery. Sure. Couldn't even see the stitches. I actually, before we get to that, can I run a joke by you that I thought was funny? It's about like plastic surgery and professional wrestling.
Emma's turning the podcast off right now.
Well,
I want to hear a joke.
Yeah, pro wrestling fans always get offended when you call wrestling fake. And they're like, it's not fake, it's predetermined. And I'm like, that sounds like someone who's defending head-to-toe plastic surgery. It's like, my body isn't fake, it's predetermined. It's predetermined not to age.
It's post-God. That's what I like. That's what I like to call it.
Postmodern God.
This is post-evolution.
Yeah, that was my one little line.
I liked it.
It was good. It's good,
Yeah.
right? I fell asleep and I thought of it and I got up and put it in my phone 2 nights ago. And I was
Man,
like, that's...
we got to, not to completely change subject, but I thought you'd find this interesting. We got to interview the author of Ringmaster yesterday.
Which
Vince
is...
McMahon, unauthorized
Oh,
George McMahon.
wow.
Got to do an hour with her. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was so
Whoa.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. Got to ask all kinds of questions.
Can
Got
we
some
turn
good
off
insight.
this podcast
And listen to
now
it? I have
and
the
go...
file right here.
Yeah, we're done.
It's over.
Let's go listen to
Great
that.
book.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
I want to get it. See, I want into that. I might buy the book.
I'm gonna have to start reading.
I'm gonna have to start reading. I'm gonna have to learn to read to really understand that. But no, we were packaging orders because we had so many, and by we I mean you, and then you got an email from a disgruntled purchaser.
It's so crazy because I literally just got a response from her right now.
Can we? All right. Well, let's start. Don't open it yet.
All right.
And then we're gonna open the response live to tape on the air.
I love that the show is slowly turning into reading people's things they hate about you. And now you.
Small business drama.
People who don't like the word HE double hockey sticks, and somehow people don't feel safe in your journal. I can't wait to hear what their complaints are.
Hey.
I'm just riffing.
It's even better when you find out what the complaint is.
Yeah.
Can you read her
No, it's
original
really good.
email? She had ordered a journal before, and then she reordered 2 more.
No. So she ordered 2 at the same time.
But had she ordered 1 before?
No.
Then that's
She just
crazy
ordered
for what
2.
her complaint
Yeah.
is about to be.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
Did this person use Zoltan at checkout?
No,
Okay,
it's
so they're not
it's
hearing
not
this.
a
Let's
Zoltan
go.
customer. I wouldn't do
Zoltan-
this if it was a Zoltan customer.
A Zoltan customer would never have this complaint.
Yeah. So I started putting like tea bags in the orders for the journals just because I thought it was a nice touch, and I like use tissue paper. I wrap it up and make it look cute,
Very sweet.
and it's just a little extra thing.
Little tea bag.
And then I got this email. The subject is very disappointed.
I'm a coffee drinker.
Ordered 2 journals. They both are gifts for 2 different people. Upon opening the box of the 2 journals, discovered they were packaged as one with only 1 tea bag. That's not what was shown in your description. There's no description of a tea bag.
Anywhere.
A tea bag per journal is what the description is. Absolutely terrible. So you'll take the money and cheat the customer? Would like to be refunded since this order was inconsiderately packed and sent out.
Can you believe that?
No.
It's
I'm looking for somewhere to go
lunacy.
as a riff or a bit, but that's
Isn't that crazy?
it's so well written and wrong. There's so many. That's okay. Yeah.
It's so well written and wrong. That's exactly what that is. And there's nowhere on the website that says you get a tea bag with it.
It's
That's
just a little plus thing I like throw in there.
Yeah, because she's a big fan of tea.
Did you write this one back? Like, well, we will be sending you another tea bag, but in quotes.
Zoltan's like, let's send her a truckload.
I wish I was
tea
rich.
bags.
If I was rich, I would order like a crate of tea and drop it off like a pallet, like a 1,000-pound pallet right at her door. And be like, you want some tea? There's some tea, dude. And
This is where Cameo is why it's perfect. Just hire a celebrity to be like, yo, you don't like the tea bag? You stupid whatever. Just get Bam Margera for no reason to be like, yeah, you dumb idiot.
you dumb
This
idiot.
gold tea. You don't like the free tea, stupid. That's what we need to be doing with these responses. That would be a great business.
It would be.
Celebrity reviews.
So, customer revenge or business to customer revenge.
Yes.
Some like almost like a revenge for
What are we
hire business,
doing?
like Norm Macdonald's movie. But
Start shutting the lights down. I'm like, this is over.
it is all right.
It
got a new
goes against
company.
the whole the customer is always right for sure.
Which did you know that is only half the quote? People always take. I learned this recently.
What?
The quote? The customer is always right is only the first half of a larger quote that disproves kind of the first half.
Really?
Yes, and did you find it?
Yeah.
What's the whole quote?
So it's right or wrong. The customer is always right. That's what it says here, according to the Earl of Oxford Street.
So they could be wrong, but they're still right.
No, no. There was like this other
let's
one
see
that I
this
saw where they showed the second line to the quote, and it kind of said it was like for specific reasons, not that the customer's right, even if they're
So the other
insane.
one is saying that it's the customer's always right in matters of taste.
there. That's the full quote.
Yeah.
The customer is always right in the matters of taste, but they ended up just using the first half for customer service reasons. And no, the customer is not always
Because
right.
that's right.
Yes.
Like if you don't like something, you're right about that.
You're the customer.
But you still got it. You
Yeah.
still got what you ordered.
Yes.
I'm
Right.
sorry you don't like vermouth,
Right.
but you ordered a martini.
So you got
you
vermouth.
got what you don't like it.
But what I'm proud about you is, so after we got this email, we're just looking at each other in the apartment and we're fuming.
Yeah.
You're mad. You were probably looking at me to calm you down, but I was just throwing gas on the fire. I was like, what's her name? Give me her address.
We Googled her. We're like, look at her face.
Look at her stupid face. Look at it. That's the kind of face I'd like to stick her head into a tea bag.
That sounds like the greatest night ever. Just collective anger.
Yes.
That's great.
And we let it out, but you responded to this woman.
Yeah.
Not in, can you read your response?
I mean, my response is pretty angering. Do you want me to read it?
It's angering, but it's the right response as a
Yeah.
business owner.
Should you see my instinct would be to go, oh, I'm so sorry for the confusion. That was a free gift, not advertised. More than happy to send you another single tea bag if you'd like.
Yeah,
and then if they come back, the second time, I'm like, now it's on.
Right.
So let's.
Yeah, I kind of did the same. I just
It's
said,
similar.
Got you.
I wrote, do you want me to read this?
Yeah.
I wrote, first off, I'm so sorry the journals did not arrive the way you had anticipated. I understand what that's like. I don't want any of our customers feeling disappointed when opening our packages. As an apology, I'd like to offer to send you one more journal packaged the way you like for the person you're gifting it to. We'll make sure to send an extra tea bag in there for you also. Let me know if that works for you, and I'll go ahead and create the order. Once again, our apologies.
Great. Perfect.
And
she just responded with, that will be fine, period.
You know what
I'm gonna break the microphone.
I'm seething right now.
I'm seething.
Yeah.
Can we pitch how to do this? The next step.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
What do you got? What do you got?
Just refund her order. No response. Just send her a refund for what she already ordered, and then never send anything back out.
That's fun.
That's an
Or
option.
I do want to point out, you said you were gonna say, I'll send you a tea bag and one for you as well. So you're saying a journal with 2 tea bags.
Yeah.
Is there a way to package it where it looks like male genitalia? Because then we got 2 tea bags. If we put the book like this, if she opens it, maybe the metaphor will strike her correctly.
Can it be a save journal, but then a photo of a man's genitalias dipping into a cup of hot water? Like a tea bag.
Feel free to drop these bags on your chin.
You're going to write about this in your save journal.
Yeah, that's angering.
Yeah, it is.
She sucks.
Yeah.
Man, some people suck.
Yeah. But you did have a good point. You're like, you're selling these journals to people with mental health.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're
it
in
kinda
the
makes
mental health
sense.
space, so
Yeah.
you're clearly dealing with a lunatic.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just let it go.
Imagine that all of this is fake and those friends are just her and she just wanted some tea. Like she's like, I got these as a gift. To who, madam?
She's acting like she ordered tea and ended up with the number of right journals for free. Like, did you think it was Lipton?
I have a feeling, cut to her in her living room writing on tea bags while dipping a journal into hot water. just doing it ass backwards, going, dealing with small businesses. Was it nice to get that off your chest? Or did reading her response?
No, this was like therapy. It felt good.
See, this is what I told her, because I go, the good thing is when I have to deal with something that angers me, I get to go on stage and talk about it. Yeah. People get to giggle. I get it off my chest. People get to laugh, and it ends up being productive. This is kind of your outlet where you can't tell her what you really feel in the email because you're trying to run a business. Yeah. But you can come on here.
I like
and you can go, you know what?
I like that a lot. Now let me tell you about my relationship.
Oh, you think you got problems?
What, do you have complaints about me?
Let me send you one of my full journals, and then you decide if you think I should be sending you another free product. It's Zoltan if you're want more specifics on who I'm talking about.
That's so funny. Well, safejournal.com.
And we found out a good scam. I had to get a 3rd free book.
Oh, yeah. Did I just screw myself?
It's possible.
Pretty soon, you're going to have to just turn into a tea company and journals on the side. That's pretty much what
No good deed goes unpunished.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, though, she's not buying these tea bags. She's stealing them from the Delta Sky Lounge.
That's not true. I mean, not. I do steal tea bags from the Delta Sky Lounge.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
They have high-end teas there.
Anything that's not bolted down, I'm trying to fit into my bag. I've taken a shower in the Delta Lounge, and I'll just start taking soap and then just dumping it out. I'm like, $400 a year, my ass.
I took my little brother to the Delta Sky Lounge yesterday. He came to Chicago with me.
Oh, that's right.
And it was 5 a.m, and he's never been there. He's like, "Oh, this is free." He's never flown before, so this was his second time at an airport on his way back. You know?
Oh, you screwed this kid.
Yeah.
He's gonna have high expectations next time he gets on a Southwest flight. I'm sorry, where's the buffet?
Yeah, where's the buffet? But it was so funny. 'Cause, he's 23. He grew up in the trailer park like me. He's still living there. And then we go sit down 5 a.m. I get a little breakfast and a coffee. I see he has a glass with a blue drink in there. And I'm like, what is that? And he goes, Mountain Blast Powerade. And I'm like, that is the most white trash. I didn't even know they served that here. I didn't even know they served Mountain Blast Blue Powerade.
Also, on ice? What was the point?
On ice.
Did you put ice?
Yeah, he put ice in there. He filled it.
You should grab a straw. You're like, just stop.
With an umbrella. Like, what are you doing? I loved it, though. I was like, never change and get a refill. And he's like, I was already gonna.
This is my refill. You missed the first one I chugged standing at the fountain. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing better than a fountain drink and then banging it back and then filling it right back up. Oh.
Really trashing up the lounge. Yeah, really. But yeah, you do steal the tea bags from the lounge because you have a high end. They're high end teas, but that's not the one you send. You send a good tea.
Yeah.
But those that's for Emma's personal collection.
That's for personal use.
Yeah. Like when I had my Stye, one of the treatments was put a hot tea bag on the eye, and I'm surprised you didn't go. No, not one of the good ones. Use chamomile. Use chamomile.
Put the Tivana down.
You didn't do that, but I could see you. You're like, hey, what are you doing touching the good ones? Tea is that's from your culture. Like Persian people love tea.
Yeah.
Like they have, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but when we go visit your mother, there's all these extra things that go with the tea. Like they have a thing called nabat, which is sugar, but it's homemade sugar crystals. Like your mother makes them herself, and she brings it out, and it looks like pure meth from like Breaking Bad. Like pure, like, it's 92%, whatever the, oxidization, and she'll break off some nabat, which is just pure sugar. You throw it in your tea, you are jacked. You are gassed to the gills. You're like, I can take over the world. And they,
when she taught you how to make them, was she in the kitchen with you? And she's like, not pure enough. And she throws it outside the RV. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad right now.
Oh, are you?
I watched like 5 episodes last night.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I figured out how to put Bluetooth headphones on my TV, which I never knew existed. And I was up until 4 o'clock this morning watching Breaking Bad.
Cool.
Yeah. But I didn't wake up, my girlfriend.
Just
watch screaming, shooting out.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, I
can watch pro wrestling, and then you can be in bed, and I can have my headphones on, connected to the TV.
You could do that.
That'd be great.
I had no idea that I could do it.
I mean, it makes sense that you could. Like, obviously, the technology doesn't seem out of this world, but it's still one of those things where you're like, oh, I should have known this for a while.
What were you saying about the sugar? Sorry, I completely interrupted.
Oh, no, that's good. The whole tea culture, that's why tea is such a big thing for you.
Yeah.
And they have these little things, these little cinnamon triangles. What are those called? She had a big jar of them, and I was crushing those, too. They're little, you eat them, you dip them, you eat them.
Oh, I don't know.
I was just crushing them like Flintstones vitamins.
Were you eating incense?
I wasn't eating incense.
Was it in a little house and there was smoke coming out of it?
They had a name,
just little sweets.
I kept calling them Canellos.
Yeah.
I was like, hit me with another one of them Canellos, and because they had a little cinnamon in there, and. But when I go to your mom's house, I drink a lot of tea.
It's a lot of tea. I think
tea.
we drink tea like 5 times a day.
Yes. I drink a lot of tea. When I'm home, though, I don't really drink tea. I go back to coffee.
Yeah.
And you get so offended every time you offer me tea.
Yeah.
And you're like, would you like a tea? And I'm like, no. There is a little
You just take the tea. You don't say no to the tea.
I don't know. I like to reserve tea drinking for visiting your parents. It's like a special.
Very sweet of you.
That's what you meant to say. Tea is special to me, like your family.
Kiss ass.
I I'm gonna use that line. Tea
a
is
good one,
special
yeah.
to me. I'm not gonna.
So write that down as
I'm not gonna waste. I'm not gonna waste some tea drinking at this lounge while your lovely parents aren't around us, and we're squirting honey on toast.
Yeah, I'm at the lounge. I'm getting lattes all day. I'm getting 2-3 lattes.
Americanos, cappuccinos out of that machine. You hit the bleep.
Love it so much.
Sometimes I want to hit both at the same time. Just see what happens. Americano, cappuccino.
Would you like to add a shot of espresso? I would times 2. Free. Every time I hear it.
Free.
I just do it in my head. I'm like, $6, $12, $18. Not coming out of my pocket.
Oh, but yeah, we had a lovely time. How are we doing on time? Because we were recording
40.
40. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can take a break, and then I can reassess all the stories I want to tell on the next episode. Sorry if I'm letting out loose of the, whatever.
You started this episode cleaning grease off your glasses. You're
Yeah,
fine.
I know that is how we started
Yeah,
it,
you're fine.
and they're still there. What is it with this part of the human face that is just a cheese pizza of grease? What is that?
Well, there's every possible bodily function, right? There's liquid, there's hair, there's skin, there's salt that comes out from here when you sweat. Like everything comes out of your eyes.
Yeah, but
weird. I didn't
it's
even think
not.
about that till
Here's
just
the part that gets me. These lenses aren't touching my face. It's the frame. So that means, you know how they do a lemon zest and then the little things from the peel kind of. You ever do that to a lemon peel and it goes,
Oh,
and
the
you
oil.
the oil shoots out? Is that what's happening with my
Express the
face?
oil, yeah.
Is that what's happening with my face? That it shoots out oil like venom right onto my lenses, and then they just smear somehow.
Probably right.
That's been the episode this week. ZoltanComedy.com for updated live tour dates. Come see me live. SafeJournal.co, 25% off Zoltan at checkout. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to the lovely Emma.
July 19th, 20th, Portland, Maine. July 26th to 27th, Santa Ana Pueblo, New Mexico, etc.
Etc.
On the website.
It's still on the website. Good day, everybody.
Trekking, heavier traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.